Never stop racing, Oscar Piastri. For me, never stop racing, I think it just personifies, kind of the mentality you want and the passion we all have. I love the competitive side, and even when I'm not driving an F1 car, I love racing, watching racing, doing sim racing, just having that passion and doing whatever it takes to try and find performance and ultimately try and achieve your dreams. The mindset of a racing driver is different for everybody, firstly, but for me, the passion started off as just the competition side of things. That is definitely a big key, but then obviously on the track you need to be ruthless, you need to put fear to one side, you need to want to keep pushing yourself, finding the limits. That's a pretty cool feeling, and especially when you can find that limit and sit on it. That's something we speak about a lot as racing drivers, is having the confidence to sit right on the limit of what the car can do. And when you're in that place, it's a pretty cool feeling. My biggest source of motivation is just wanting to do better than what I've done previously. The feeling in the moment, the kind of motivation in the moment is still the same as it has been for the last 10, 15 years since I've been racing. For me, I've always enjoyed that side of things the most, and trying to really get the most out of myself, figuring out how I can improve. Even when I was a kid at school, my schoolwork, I always wanted to get the highest score and finish the quickest. So I think it's always been my nature since I was a kid. A lot of the improvements that you try and find as a driver are very, very difficult to achieve just by yourself. The team around you is very, very important, whether that's engineers, management, physios. Ultimately we're trying to get the last thousandth of a second, the last hundredth of a second out of the car, but you can find all of that, if not more, by getting the most out of the driver as well. Putting the two together, that's how you really find lap time and find success. Definitely there's moments, especially in the hard moments, where you have to weigh up the sacrifice, because ultimately you are giving up spending time with your family and friends to go out and chase this dream. When you first start out, it's a pretty wild dream to go and chase. One of the, more unique challenges I had compared to especially my European colleagues is moving to the other side of the world as a kid. And you definitely learn a lot about yourself when you do that. There are times where you contemplate, is this worth it? And I think for me the answer was always yes. Sometimes it took longer to come to that conclusion, but the answer was always yes. I think just the fact that I'm in Formula One doing something that I dreamed of as a kid, and how fortunate I am, that I do often have moments where it kind of hits me where I realise how fortunate I am. Lewis, Fernando, Seb Vettel, those kind of people that were at the top of Formula One, you kind of think, well, they must be doing something right. Outside of racing, people like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, just kind of the mentality they had and the sacrifices they made to achieve their greatness, that is also a source of inspiration. But they're not perfect, and no one is perfect. And I think for me, just trying to pick the good bits from everybody where you can is what I try and do. My first dream was becoming an F1 driver, and that turned into a goal, and now it's a reality. And sitting here now, even just, the way I go about my racing, no nonsense, relaxed, laid back, and, a racer. Well, I think it's quite fitting in Never Stop Racing.